Hey everyone, this is Dan with the Spiritual Underground Podcast. As always, I am your host here. If you're just bouncing along this podcast, we're primarily 12-step recovery based content where uh, a lot of the content is people coming in and tell their 12-step story, what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. But I also have these wonderful guests come into my life that bringing all kinds of different cool angles that that under nurturing your spirit. I think ultimately that at some level that's what our job is from the time we're a little kid. I think it's all natural when we're little. When I was like I heard of one of my favorite talk speakers guys say today, I think my golden age was between 2 and 4 because I had no problem being in the present moment when I was that age. But as I grew up, I began to have trouble being where I'm at and being okay where I'm at. This particular gentleman turned to alcohol and drugs in order to be okay. And we all know where that brings us. So when we can cultivate this spirit and regrow it, whether it's regrow it or grow it, it's always, it's always a positive. My guest today is coming from India. She said the city. She'll have to tell us that again here in a minute. But it's so cool to have people coming. I think this is the first person from India, but I've had people from Thailand come to me from Thailand and New Zealand and Austria and just a number of cool places. And it's neat to have this technology where we can exchange ideas across this medium like this. Uh, I'm going to let you say your name. I'm not going to try it. So I'm glad to have you on the show today, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we stir up as we talk.
Thank you, Dan. My name is Anuradha Shukla. I am talking to you from Bangalore, India. Bangalore is in south of India,
Okay.
and it is raining outside here. It is 5:30 a.m. in the morning, and I'm really excited to be at the podcast. As far as my introduction is concerned, I am a certified life coach and I am the author of book The Intuitive Edge. It is on tarot and it talks about how people can use tarot to use their intuition to take good decisions about their love life, about their career, and if there's any other question that comes to their mind. So is my brief introduction. I by profession I am working as the international head in an education institute. I have also lived in China for 5 years, and I have traveled all across the world meeting wonderful people like you.
That is so cool. Yeah. Uh, it's I just went back to work for a former employee in 29. I worked for a place from 91 to 2019 and they laid me off. And it worked out perfect. And I was burned out, and I didn't. They treated me great. They gave me a soft landing, no hard feelings. I started my own business. I've been doing that for the past 6 years. And in March they hired me back. But my point is, we do still have a office in Bangkok, Thailand, and we also have an office someplace in India. So there's a half a chance that I will get to visit. I've been all over the world with this company in
Wonderful.
the past, and so I may be visiting India for the first time, maybe in the near future.
Sure. Welcome to India. I'll definitely meet you once you are here.
Yeah, it's a big country, though. I know
It is. It is.
it is. You're just talking about intuition. As a result of getting sober and some of the things that's been going on, we call it higher power. Some people call it God. Some people, I don't know. I really don't. All I know is there's something there. And there's also, I believe, some kind of higher self thing that's inside of me too that I can rely on. And I'm not really sure which of that it is. And I don't really care that awful much as long as it's useful, right? I'm pretty pragmatic in that department. But I was just sitting, I run around and do handyman work for people and I repair furniture and do various things. And the other day I was leaving the house and I had an intuition that I should take some particular tools that I don't carry with me all the time. They're just big and I don't need them most of the time. And lo and behold, I got there to that house and I needed that stuff. And I did not follow my intuition. And I knew it, it told me something told me to take this stuff and I ignored it. And then, but
Okay.
there's lots of times too where, I get these little nudges. I don't know where they come from. I always like visualize them like a tap on the shoulder, like, hey, Dan, you should whatever. And I've learned to follow those things. And usually they lead me in a good direction. But sometimes it's hard to tell, what's real intuition and what's some crazy idea, you know? Uh, it sounds like you have a good handle on a lot of that kind of thing.
It has. Yeah, I do.
Tell
So
me a
I can
little
tell
about
you
what you
how
do.
my journey began to do this kind of a uh,
That'd be great.
writing. I was living in China back in 2008, and I at that time I had two young children living with me, and I used to miss India like anybody who has left the country. So one fine day, my husband was working in this company, and one fine day in the evening, he brought me this book. It was on mantra meditation, and it was written by some person living in New York. He was Mr. Thomas Ashley Farran. He is no longer with us, but at that time he was a priest in the New York City. So that whole book was on mantras. Like I am in India and I know a lot about mantra. For example, mantra is Om Namah Shivaya. We are praising Lord Shiva, whom we worship in India. So my husband was telling me I was this book I found on the dust in the dustbin, and because I know you like to read and you like religion and spirituality, I just thought to give it to you. So I thought that book made its way to me, because that book said if you chant one particular mantra for 40 days and you wish for something, things will happen for you. So at that time I was younger. I never believed in uh, energies and so much in intuition, but I gave it a shot. I love money like everybody else, so I thought, okay, let me start with Lakshmi mantra, and I want to money to fall on me, and I want to become rich. So I picked the most favorite mantra that intuition told me, and within 2 days I was just sitting in, and everywhere I could see goddess Lakshmi ji around me. Like you are on the podcast show, I'm seeing your face. So I'm opening. I was an IT journalist at that time. So I opened my computer in the morning, and then somebody is sending me the photograph of Lakshmi ji. So what I'm saying is I could believe in energy at that time. Then I started to believe in energy. I thought, let me also see what other tools are available to help me heal and help others heal from whatever they are going through. At that point of time, you talking about recovery. At that type of time, I was recovering from the pangs of separation from my home country. It was nothing huge, but you miss your home country once you leave. So I started to study tarot, and it was very interesting to note how if I shuffle the cards and pick out three cards, they are going to give me the very good advice about how my day is going to be. Or, for example, what Dan Reeves is thinking about me. It is very interesting, and I've used this for many years, because I'm a little introvert, and I am not able to I can talk, but generally, like an extrovert, I'm not able to express my feelings very clearly. So, when I use these cards, then I can know what my boss is thinking about me, what my friend is thinking about me, and I could adjust my behavior accordingly and gave me beautiful results. And I during that time I have a very good marriage. My husband is very loving, my children are supportive. But during in that expat community, and then later on in my life, I met very unhappy people. They were going through midlife crisis. Somebody is having an extramarital affair, somebody is going through divorce, somebody is being laid off. So somehow I make friends very quickly, although I'm saying I'm an introvert, but maybe I can sympathize and empathize very much. So people started coming to me.
Mm.
You tell me, what will my boyfriend, will he talk to me tomorrow? Oh, I am suspecting my husband is having an extramarital affair. Can you please tell me what he is doing? So I used to do tarot for them.
Mm.
I never used to charge anything. But I was surprised at the confidence those people showed in me, that I am going to keep their secrets, because sometimes, see, if you are having an affair, for example, it can break your marriage. So I have to be very careful to do a reading for them. Or for example, if an HR person is asking me, कि I am in this particular dilemma, whether to hire person A or to hire person B, and I know both the persons, and I have to keep quiet because they are my friend, you are also my friend. So ultimately, I had secrets of so many people, and I was bursting with so many secrets. So
Mm,
that is why I thought to write a book on do it yourself. Please don't come to me because as such I'm not charging anything. I'm just doing it for my I'm interested in this. So that is how this book took shape, that I am teaching you, you use tarot, and there are many times then when you don't want to tell the world what you are going through. It's something is very private, right? For example, I have an interview after 1 hour. I'll not go to some astrology app. I'll not call Anuradha. I will do it myself, whether this interview is going to be good or not. So I am encouraging people to heal themselves by following their intuition, and I do encourage people to give I give remedies also, and again energy based remedies based on that book that came to me long back in China in 2008 or 2009, I think. Yeah, end of 2008 and beginning of 2009.
very cool. I can understand how, like, taking on that energy from other people, from these other, I don't know what you call stressful situations, potentially, these guarding other people's secrets can weigh on you. It can be heavy. And even though you don't have a dog in the fight and you don't have any kind of like reason to express it, there's no reason to be, it's not like everyday stuff where you're going to be accidentally in a dinner party and accidentally say something. It's usually not that kind of stuff. But I do understand that we in 12-step recovery, I sponsor other men and they confide in me their stuff. And at times, actually, right now, I think I'm a little bit wore out from receiving. And I think this man, he'll listen to this podcast, and I just want to make sure that he understands that this is not one of these things that I'm saying don't tell me, but it becomes heavy. He's going through a very, very, very stressful situation in his life, and it becomes tough to uh, I don't I don't really know how to say it. It's hard to purge it. It's hard to let it not affect you. And so I can
Correct.
see, and the other thing I was thinking of, that uh, once you've received, because this is a gift you have, right? It's a gift. And
Okay.
gifts really aren't gifts unless they're like free, right? So unless you give that away to other people, and I know that you got a book, so that's a little bit, but you're also get compensated for your energy too at the same time. But to teach people how to do something like that is very fulfilling to carry that to other people to help them see it. You don't do readings and that kind of thing anymore?
No, I do readings all the
You
time
do.
because all my family and friends know that I do this. So they do come to me from time to time, and I
Yeah.
do it. And I
But this
enjoy
is
doing
more
it
for the
also.
the book is for a wider distribution of people who would not be able to come to you to do that.
Yes.
Uh, you have to be pretty open on the other side of it, right? Open to the
Open,
information.
open to information of people.
Yeah. I've had a couple, I've run around, I fell into yoga some years ago. And so this has
Okay.
exposed me. And for whatever reason, the yoga community tends to have people who do readings and stuff and do tarot and other kinds of intuitive energy work that I've come into contact with. If it hadn't been for yoga, I don't think I would have ever run into these people. We go to yoga festivals and they have things set up and different deals. And I'm always real hesitant to have a reading, almost scared uh, of what I'm going to
It
hear.
is it is scary to know the truth, and then it is when people are recovering from something, you have to be open to learn. You have to be open to learn to change. For example, I can talk about recovery from a breakup. That's the most common thing I get from people. When somebody is in a bad relationship, he or she clearly see the writing on the wall that this person is not good for me. The person have been emotionally abusive to me for years together, but still they will come and ask me to do a reading. that that person loves me or not, is the person thinking about me or not, how will my day go tomorrow. So I tell them, see, I will do a reading for you, perfectly fine, but you are coming to me for the fourth time in the past 1 month for this particular person. So you can read yourself that if a person is requiring so much of your energy to come to me, Anuradha, and find out uh, uh, whether he is loving me or not. So this is a clear sign that person is not good for you. You should be open to change, accept it, and it's going to be painful like a band-aid. Once you put the band-aid, it's going to hurt. But then you're going to be fine. So these people don't listen to me. They will be again in front of me after 2 months, and they will be in a vicious cycle of this relationship business. And then they will stop coming to me also, because they become embarrassed. I've been to Anuradha 8 times already. Now I'll not go there. Then from third party, I come to know after 1 year they actually broke up. So what I say to my clients and to people, that you should be open to change, and the answers are in your intuition. Before you come to any astrologer or tarot reader, your gut is telling you this person is not right for me, or this situation is not right for me. You don't actually have to come to me. If you sit in the morning, do some quiet meditation, then your gut will tell you that you should not go to this person because he is making me unhappy for past 3 months, for example. So all the God has designed us in such a way that you will know whether you are going in the life right path or not. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, we usually do know what where we're supposed to be. It's interesting that we'll go to somebody else to get that, almost to some extent, hoping for the opposite answer than what I ask or they know, because it's like uh, you come back, but you see that if somebody has a problem and they come to me over and over again with it, and I keep on giving them the same answer, after a while they stop coming.
Right.
They go, well,
Correct.
I'm not getting the answer I want there. I will go someplace else to try and find the answer that I want. There's another line in the big book that says, and I like to paraphrase it a few ways. And here in the Western world, everybody uses the word God. Uh, that inside every man, woman, and child is a fundamental idea of God. And I think the same way there's a fundamental idea of right and wrong. There's a fundamental idea of what I should be doing and what I should not be doing. Most people, when they're doing something that's cross purposes to their wellness or their well-being, they know that, you know, it's an interesting phenomenon, especially like particularly with substance abusers because of the addiction aspect of it, that I could know that this is hurting me, but I can't stop doing it. But it seems like that can also happen. Well, for your instance, well, we broaden the term recovery. Recover and kind of more. There's a definition that says it's to reclaim that which was lost or stolen. And sometimes it's ultimately that's inside myself. But like in your thing, that's a loss. When you moved away, you had lost something. So at some level, you were grieving your home, right? You were grieving
Yes,
the
I was
loss
grieving
of
my
your
home.
home. Uh,
Yes.
and that exactly the same thing. It's recovery. You have to recover from that.
Yes.
And the only way to really do it is to, one thing is to face it and to understand the reality of it. Sometimes it's a lack of perception of being understanding the reality of this is my situation and okay, I just need to leave that behind, similar to a breakup, same thing. I have to understand that this is over and the path forward is this direction and just get up and walk that way. We do a podcast where we deliver these 12 steps to everybody that wants to recover, not just people who are substance issue people. It could be from any of the traditional fellowships because we use the 12 steps in overeaters, we use it in gambling, we use it in, there's 100 different 12-step fellowships besides like Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous. And I've had the opportunity to help some people like with the rage or overspending, or some people just really struggle to be happy. They just really have trouble finding some happiness in their life. Do you,
Yes, you're right, Dan. I have met many people who give lot of blame to their destiny, past life karma, and God for what they are today. And I have seen people falling into negative cycle, and they come to me for astrology also. See, Dan, tarot is very current energy. It can tell you what is happening now, but astrology is going to give you a bigger picture. It will tell you how your life is going to probably pan out, let's say 2 years from now, or 6 months from now, or 1 year from now. So because I also do astrology, they ask me, okay, my life is not good right now. I am not doing a job, and here I am drinking a beer in front of you because I am feeling bad. Can you please tell me when my life will change? So I do a reading for them. I do birth chart analysis and do all that. But I tell them that you should believe in your karma. In karma means in your action. If you are feeling very unhappy, or if you are feeling depressed about anything in life, and see, sometimes people, bad things do happen to people. They are really abused. They can be sexually abused. They can be emotionally abused. So in that case, it's very good, nice to give a sympathetic ear to them, but at the same time, you have to hold the hand and take baby steps to come out of it. And at that time, the willpower is very important. You have to take the first step to walk. For example, when I had a C-section with my daughter, I was not able to walk. So the nurse was holding my hand, and then I was stepping down from the, that bed on which you are there. And then I took small baby steps and went to the door. I'm just giving an example. I had to bear the pain of those stitches I had in my stomach, and then I had to go. In the same way, if you are overcoming a drinking problem, or you're going through overspending, you have to take that small walk from the bed to the door and then back, and do it 3 or 4 times, and then you can walk, right? So if you are looking for a job and you don't have a job right now, you have to prepare your resume, and then you have to apply. Only then astrology or your intuition will work. If your intuition is saying yes, you have to apply for this job, but you're sitting and watching soccer on TV, nothing is going to happen. Or if you're going through a bad breakup and you are not going putting out yourself there to meet more men, for example, nothing is going to happen. So I always tell my my friends and clients that they don't like me for what I tell them, that you have to take actions. And they say, no, you're not being sympathetic. You don't know what I'm going through. So I say, I know what you're going through, but you have to pull up your socks. And if you can't pull your whole sock up, at least pull 1 inch up. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, while intuition is your friend, you have all the tools in the world. You have to you have to be your best friend and do some action.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You hear that karma thrown around quite a bit, and sometimes I do wonder about like what's happened in the past, like maybe even past lifetime stuff of karma that might happen with people that there maybe are having for lack of a better way to put it, paying for now. Uh, that's something that interests me. Again, I don't profess to know anything about much of this, just observe it. But I do believe in this 12-step program. We say over and over again that it is a program of action. And it is baby steps, that's what we do. And we do stuff, uh, we do activities that seem like they would have no bearing on helping me. But it's to get that momentum moving, because that law of momentum, that object that starts moving forward in the right direction, if you don't get it started moving that way, you're going to be stuck. And man, people just get stuck, like you said, stuck in front of the TV with a beer in their hand and chips, and they don't get up and do anything. You have to, even just the smallest little stuff, like uh, in 12-step recovery, just come to a meeting with me. It's just 1 hour, and you could just sit there quietly, but you've got up and you've got out of the house and you abstain from your stuff for an hour tonight. And maybe you can, one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, you can start changing your life. We are amazing beings, we have so much power inside of us that sometimes it seems like you've lost that, you can really get stuck sometimes.
You're right, and we should let people help you. Like you have this 12-step recovery program. So I would suggest people who are watching this show to trust Dan Reeves and hold his hand, and then actually go through the whole journey. I have a friend who's struggling with weight management for 5 years. I've known this man for 5 years, and that man has not lost 10 kgs. That man is about 140 kgs, and every time I meet him, that person tells me, now I have hired a weight management coach. From today, I am going to stop drinking. I am listening to this for five, I don't know how many years. So I've told him, why don't you join some person, some actual coach who's living near you, or you listen to me, I will help you. But he is not very much ready to listen to what other people are telling. So I am very happy that you have this program then. But once again, it depends on the person, people who want to be okay, who want to recover and to go through this whole journey. Only then they will become slim and become healthy.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you
that's
have
the
to want the change. You have to, at some
you
level,
want to, yes.
we say sometimes people aren't ready, you know. I don't know that that's really the right term, because I have another, the same guy I was talking about earlier, he presents this theory, and he's just an analogy that sometimes these things are like a parasite, you know, like if you get or like a computer virus. That's another analogy where it's like hijacked your operating system, and it's almost like puts blinders on you where you cannot see a way out. I think that's one of the beautiful things about like mutual support groups, that when you go into, like, if you get into a community of people like your friend, if you're in a community of people who are all trying to lose weight, there's some people in there have been successful with it. And when you get around people who have been successful with it, and you're side by side with other people who are struggling with the same thing you're struggling with, can give you some motivation when you see these other people doing it, and you kind of have battle buddies to walk with and to help keep you accountable, and talk on the phone with, and go hang out at at healthy places, because you've got to change what you're doing. You can't continue.
Yeah.
You keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to keep on getting what you're getting. You have to make some changes in that area, and having people around you, like you said, to accept help from other people, even if they could be in a position that they actually have been successful in what you're trying to do. That's great. And people who are trying to do the same thing you're trying to do, who maybe haven't been successful yet, but you get that combined energy. Because me by myself, I have a certain amount of power that's just residual in me, right? That I can do some stuff. But if me and you get together, then we can do more. There's more power between the two
No.
of us, and then you bring more and more people together. So people
I
that try
have
to
a
do
curious
stuff
question.
alone.
I have a curious question here, Dan. I read a lot and I know certain things about how much time you take to change your habit. But you been talking about a recovery program. Can you give me some idea how much time does a person take to actually go through the recovery? I know it depends on person to person, but is there any ballpark figure? For example, they say you can change a habit in 40 days. So, what, according to you, suppose I am going through some recovery for X reason. So, and if I come to you, by when will I start feeling better, or by when will I actually recover from what I am going through? I'm just curious to know.
Well, I think recovery is a lifelong process to some level, because sometimes you're going to, like, I don't know that what particularly like for alcoholism and addiction, I don't know that we say, and I believe it, that you never completely like get over it. You move past it and you can stay sober, but like the thought of a drink still comes through my head today, now and again. It's not as
Okay.
attractive as it once was. And I'm going to answer your question a couple different ways. I have watched over and over a guy come in, and I say when he sets his sails to doing this, he'll get like some instant karmic energy that will be positive. And it's like food for, it's like it's almost like a treat. Like when he says, "Okay, Dan, I want you to take me through this work." I will see, like, tomorrow he will come home from work and he got a raise. Or his wife starts treating him better. Or, you know, uh he somebody helps him on the side of the road with a flat tire. Some kind of positive energy will come into their lives pretty quick. The longer story is that to go through the 12 steps the way that I take somebody through is a 4 to 6 month process. And I really see a huge transformation in somebody if they will walk through these 12 steps with me at the pace that I set it. I promise them I'll get them through it in 4 to 6 months. It sounds like a long time when you're sitting here kind of in misery, right? But like
It
we
does.
blink our eyes, it's July already, it just was Christmas a second ago, right? So that's that window. And I can give somebody a great deal of relief in 4 to 6 months through the 12 steps.
I think 4 to 5 months looks small. If you see the bigger picture, it may look very long right now. But I think you work on hope for this 12-step recovery program. If I'm following you, and if I know that I'm here with Dan, or not with Dan, if I decide to change, if I decide to come out of a bad relationship, if I decide to find a good job, then it is a decision, and decision will give you hope. You just hang on to that hope, and then the walk becomes very easy. It can take 1 year also, but that hope will keep you on the track, that yes, one day I'm going to stop feeling as miserable as I am feeling right now. This is what I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, it seems like, and I don't, it feels like that the universe like begins to pay these people dividends in a sense as they put in the energy to do the work. So there's that reward system thing going on that's coming from the universe. It's nothing that's like, tangible. Nobody's actually helping them, so to speak. Just good things begin to happen. So that'll keep them moving to take the next step in the work and to pick up the notebook tonight to do some more journaling or whatever the assignment is at that particular time. And they see that things starting to get better because it's really tough if you're in something and nothing's getting better for a while. You go through a few months, like weight loss, for instance, that's hard. It doesn't
That's
come off fast. You cannot lose weight fast. I mean, you could do some stuff that'll cut it pretty quick. But it doesn't seem like if you do the fast fix, it's not long lasting, right? That's the other thing about what I find out with this work that we do is it tends to be long lasting and people stay around and they continue to receive benefit from it even after they're through with the work. But weight loss is like how much weight could you expect to lose in 6 months, really? Could you lose 10 pounds a month, maybe? I don't really know. I'm blessed. I'm skinny and it's all genetics. I don't do much to earn it. It's
lucky you, lucky you.
yeah, it is. It is. People say, "How do you stay in such good shape?" And I was like, "It's almost all genetics. I don't have to do much to stay trim." But I watch people. So like, if you're and you said kg, so we're here in America with pounds. What's I
I
used
can
to
do
know
a
that stuff pretty good. The conversion factors.
no
Uh,
worries. It's okay. I can use the AI and that AI can tell me quickly. Thank God for AI.
yeah. So about a half a kilogram is a pound. About.
Okay.
So 1 kilogram would be losing, I guess I'm backwards on that. No, 1 pound is that. So it'd take, I still can't do it.
And I
Yeah,
also
so it'd
think
be
that
5 kilograms a month to lose, and that's doing pretty
five
dang
kilograms.
good. And if you're, uh, uh, let's say 25 kilograms overweight, you know, that's talking about 6 months to get that lost. And it's a process. You're just gonna have to stick with it and do it. The substance stuff, they say that you kind of really make some science, at least. And my sponsor, we have sponsors in this program. So my sponsor has been sober 41 years. He's
41.
Yeah, and he works in the field too. He is actually a licensed chemical dependency counselor now. He's been doing that for about half of that time. He was sober and he decided he wanted to make that his occupation. And so he's
Okay.
uh he's licensed here in the state of Kentucky and he just does a great I feel very I say I sit at the right hand of a master. He's a very intelligent and has a lot of knowledge in this area. So he brings me the science because he's always learning in that department. So at about 90 days is about the time that your body and your mind can kind of let go. Again, everybody's different, but that 90-day mark is big on getting past some kind of habit like that, like a substance thing. And I would think just about any malady at some level You would hope that you'd get over a breakup, but if you were with somebody, I was married for 17 years and my wife left me. And that's been a little over 10 years ago now. There was no, it crushed me. I mean, I had never been through anything. I lost my mother a few years ago. It wasn't as bad as going through divorce. And it caused me to relapse because I wasn't using my tools and I had a tough time doing it. And it took me it took me years to like move past that. Now I didn't do it as healthy as I could have, right? I chose to stay in the muck at times. That's something else we seem to like. Uh, Sometimes some of us, uh, we like to stay stuck, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's exactly right, but it's a little bit of like running around. I want to go around and tell everybody about what she did to me and relive it and play the victim and do all that, which just keeps me stuck longer. It's the opposite of tearing off the Band-Aid, as you said, uh, to move forward. So I didn't do it very healthy in a very healthy way, but I learned a lot, and I try to help other men now when there seems to be an epidemic around here that couples are breaking up after 15, 20 years of marriage and they've got kids and all this kind of thing. I just see it left and right. That's what my friend is going through right now. I was speaking about a minute ago. He's been married for 17 years and it's over. And he's having a really tough time dealing with that, which I can understand. With small kids involved and not getting to see them like he used to and all that. But I kind of I kind of got off track there as far as the this tendency for us to stay stuck. Uh, and I don't know that we choose to do that in a way, you know?
That's the comfort zone because you're familiar with your grief, you're familiar with your pain, and anything unfamiliar, even if it is pleasant, the brain cells in your body will not accept it immediately. It will take some time to reform new connections in the brain. That is why your whole body resists change and want you to be stuck where you are. And one thing I want to add to this conversation is like friendship is overrated in this society. It is my personal experience that your so-called best friends, I'm talking about girlfriends only, I'm not talking about boyfriends. Girlfriends, if you are progressing, they will not be actually be happy for you. They
Hmm.
are going to be jealous. If you are going through something very traumatic, they will secretly be happy that you are feeling unhappy. And sometimes they say, see, you deserve it because you are not doing something at that time. People are not sympathetic when you are going through a bad time. When my father passed away last year, and I was grieving once again because I was very close to my father. About 95 out of 100 people told me, oh, it was expected that he will die. He or had Parkinson. I'm not sure why you're so unhappy. And these same person people, if something happens to them, they will sit with me and talk for 23 hours about how unhappy they are, and I'm expected to listen. I'm saying there's a very less sympathy and empathy left in people around you. So if you're going through something, don't expect people to understand you because it may impact your self-esteem. Suppose
Mm.
I am feeling unhappy that this man left me. I am already going through something. And here comes Mr. X telling me that how bad a person I actually am that he left me. I don't need to hear this. At this time, I want to know that I am a good person and I want you to support me. You're not supporting me. You're telling me you deserve to be left. So this is the kind of society I have seen. I'm not sure why it is that, but actual true friendships that I have read in Enid Blyton stories in picture books and storybooks, I have not seen. So that really impacts your confidence. So what I tell people, even I want to do myself, is if I am having going through something personal. For example, my boss has scolded me. For example, I'll not go and tell, oh, today my boss scolded me. I'm going to stand in front of the mirror and I will talk to myself. I know
Mm.
not many people do that, but at this point of time, I prefer to talk to my own self or to God in a quiet room and sort out my emotions rather than telling somebody whom I'm scared he or she is going to maybe share it with five people. that this is what she told me. That trust, I am afraid about the trust issue. I have been betrayed previously. I had some of my good girlfriends, and I trusted them and told them something, and the next day I see the whole class knows about my problem. It was so embarrassing for me. So I am saying right now is ki once you're going through a sad journey, you're recovering, be your best friend. And sometimes
Mhm.
I feel it's very good that stranger will come and help you rather than people whom you expected to be there when you're not, when you know, I have invested in some relationship. You are my friend for 2 3 years. Now I need you. Now you're laughing at me. So it's not good to invest so much in relationships these days. You go to like you have this recovery center. Thank God for internet. You have got the support system who are going through similar problems. You join those forums. So, but relationships are highly overrated. This is what I feel. To find that perfect partner, to find that perfect girlfriend. In my personal life, I have not seen that.
Yep, yep, it is a sad thing. I'm very fortunate in that regard too, that I do have a wonderful men's group. My home group is a men's group, and we really do support one another at some level that is beautiful. I can expect empathy when I come for anything like particularly from my sponsor. He supports me to almost a fault, you know. Uh, but he also will tell me. He'll tell me straight too when I am doing something that's not that he goes, and he does it in a very soft, nice manner too, but he'll say, Dan, I gotta tell you, I'm seeing you do this thing over here, and I don't think it's gonna be working out well for you. You might want to give some thought to that. Take it or leave it. I don't, you know, and it's interesting, the stranger thing, because that's exactly how 12-step recovery almost works. You can never help a friend ever. I cannot. My daughter's had substance abuse issues. I can't help her. I can guide, I can be a rock, I can be support, I can do that, but I can't really, it's going to be a stranger that helps her. And that's the same thing. These men that walk into my life that I have the opportunity to help, I think God sends them, the universe sends them. I think it's something divine happening that puts us together, but it's always a stranger. He doesn't know me, he doesn't know me at all. And that makes it work because we don't have a prior relationship with any kind of mud or any kind of background and stuff in it. So like these people come wandering in these meetings, not knowing anybody, and they get to know you a little bit, and then you take them through this work. And I just say that all the time. It's always going to be in my world, it's going to be a stranger that helps you. It's not going to be a friend. Now, after I've helped that guy, after we've gone through this work together, a bond happens fly. Uh, that creates us where we can be friends after that. That building, the thing that happens as we do this work together creates some friendship that's very special and can be very long lasting. I've experienced that that's the case. But I hear what you're saying. It's interesting about how uh, these so-called friends may not be a lot of help to you when you're in, I'll just use the word crisis. When you're in
And you
crisis, they
talk
may not
about
be.
people leaving each other after 15 years or 17 years or 20 years of marriage. I think that when you are young, you are more resilient. You have more resilience in yourself to
Mm,
bear with things. You are more forgiving. You are okay to change and adapt. But as you grow old, as you hit
that's a good point.
45 plus, as you become 50, your resilience become very low. So what you think is, this is my personal view, that okay, I have lived my life for 17 or 20 years with this man in such and such manner, and I have about 5 or 10 years of life left in front of me where I can just relax and be myself. Maybe I should give myself this chance. This is what I see and I hear from people who have gone through this divorce. In India, also, divorce was not prevalent previously because we are more traditional society, but now things are changing. Now, my friends, now my colleagues, they are also doing this. So, I sometimes I go and ask, so this is the answer they have given me. I'm not judging them. I'm not saying that what happened to them was good or bad, but this is the answer they tell me that I have already known this way of living, and I have to live in a certain way because of the other person. I know that other person is going through trauma, but they want to be free and they want to enjoy life. I'm sorry if I'm coming across a bit harsh, But
I
I'm
get
just
it
telling
though.
you what people telling me.
That's a good point, because we do, and I've talked about this before too, for history, we really haven't stayed coupled up for the period. Well, we didn't live as long as we live today, is
Yeah,
one
yeah,
thing.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
and childbirth and other things would you would lose a wife because of childbirth in the past because of not having the medical stuff we had today, which would cut something short. So, like, there's only really been, it seems like, and I don't know this to be true, okay, but someplace in the last 100 years, you see these people staying together for 50 and 60 years. That's never
Yeah,
happened. That's not in our
exactly.
history.
No,
That's not mankind. And so, like, but we kind of set this bar, and I did it because my mom and dad did. They're one of them couples that did stay together. If mom would have lived less than a year longer, I don't know if I could think about it. If my mom would have lived 4 more months, they'd have been married 50 years. But that's unusual and I had that thought that that's what I should do too, because I had that model for me, right? That was my family. That was the example set for me. So then, I took it extra hard because I thought that's what I would do too. But we really don't. And it's sometimes things I guess are for a season, and I totally understand that. If you've um, I do draw a little bit of a line in a way, like once your kids are adults and a couple decides that they want to go different ways, I see that. And it's like, okay, I've done this piece of life and I did this, right? I got married, I had a family, I raised children, they're grown, they're adults, they're doing their thing. Now, I don't really want to be in this particular lifestyle anymore. I want to do something else, and this other person doesn't really want to come with me, or maybe I don't want them to. So maybe it is time sometimes just a natural course to for that to part ways, and it's not that it doesn't have to be that big a deal uh, if it could be handled maturely. It doesn't seem like it's the norm for people to do that. Somebody always gets hurt. Somebody takes it bad.
I think I was telling my husband I am been married for 30 years and my parents had a marriage of 50 years. So we also have very long marriages. So maturity is the word that comes after seeing betrayals. When you are youth, you are so innocent. You see the world with pink glasses. So when I say I have matured, what I am trying to say is somebody slapped me and somebody hurt me. So now I know how I am going to behave when somebody tries to slap me the second time. This is what maturity is actually. If you see a youth, 19 years old, 20 years old, they'll always come and help you. They'll not think twice before, coming to you, that whether that person will take advantage me or will take advantage of me or not. They're just living as the God wants us to live, like a flower. Only when somebody tries to pluck that flower and try to trample it, you become mature. So I'm just giving you the new definition of mature. You can never be happy when somebody leaves you, even if for 17 years or 2 years. You always hurt. You just become mature that okay, I'll not drink if the person leaves me next time because it's going to impact my liver. That is what maturity is. Otherwise, maturity comes with a very lot of unhappiness, is what I'm saying. That lot of hurt makes you mature.
Yeah,
you know
it's like
so that
scar
word
tissue.
has to be, in dictionary have to be rephrased. Not saying it is not a sign of intelligence. It is a sign of bitter experiences, I feel.
Experience. Yeah,
Experiences. It is
yeah.
not showing your intelligence that I am mature at
Well,
15.
they say,
If you were ill-treated by your stepfather at 11 years old, then that is you are mature at 15. Otherwise, if you had a good parents home, you will be like a normal teenager.
yeah, right. Yeah.
You know what I have to tell you. So yeah,
Yeah. So I heard somebody not long ago say something and combine like wisdom and maturity with pattern recognition. I'm
pattern
better. I've
recognition.
seen this pattern.
Pattern.
I know what happens. So now I've had enough experience in my life that when I see A, B, C go down, I know how to react to it. Where whenever I was
Uh-huh.
young in A and B,
Uh-huh.
I was aloof and I didn't know what to do. And maybe I got hurt as a result of staying around something where now I can go, whoa, hold on. It's like driving down the road, you can begin to uh, predict what others are doing better, where I couldn't do that when I first started driving, right? I wasn't as good to predict what the traffic flow and what other drivers were going to do, but now I can pull out and I watch people and I see, oh, that guy's not going to stop. And similar kind of thing of just that pattern recognition. I like it. Uh,
Yes.
we are we're funny animals. We
Yeah.
and it seems that this is something else that I've thought too, that a lot of a friend said to me some 15 years ago, and I really had a lot of trouble with the God, the universe, the divine, that kind of stuff for a long time back then. And he had said some words. He said, I like to draw from all the spiritual teachings. And I'm like, you can do that, huh? Because see, I thought I had to do this Western, you had to be in this box. And since I've expanded, so I just learned from all these, and these spiritual teachers that have been around for thousands of years. Uh, we're still having to learn that same stuff from scratch in 2025. It's like we don't really, we don't really pick up where they left off in a sense. Every human being has to go through their process. And some of us are better at learning from the past of others than some others, but Jesus, Buddha, what was in yoga, we read the Bhagavad, Bhagavad Gita. Is that, I can't,
Bhagavad Gita.
yeah.
Bhagavad Gita.
And those lessons that are in those old ancient books are as valid today as they were when they were written. But we don't seem to benefit from them that much as a young person. We have to go through things and gain this maturity from making mistakes. We learn from making mistakes, from
Making
doing it.
mistakes. Yeah. Any book you recommend people like me in India? Like we do read Bhagavad Gita a lot in where I'm sitting right now. Which spiritual guide do you recommend, Dan, whom I can follow, read books to mm, get to be more
That's,
wise?
yeah, I read a lot. I don't, I lean on the Alcoholics Anonymous Big Book, but it's kind of, uh, it's very, focused on alcoholism and addiction, but the stories are in it are good for
Story.
anybody. The stuff in it are this is the same kind of spiritual teaching. You just kind of have to though, well, I don't deal with alcoholism, but I do deal with eating too much, or I do deal with whatever it is that might be in your life. We all seem to have something we're struggling with. We all have some cross to bear kind of thing. My sponsor is actually writing a book right now, and it should be finished towards the end of the year, where he's making it more of a general concept rather than a focused in on a particular problem. You can insert and the
Okay.
teachings in it is pretty good. But I really don't have something. I've read a lot, and
Right.
12-step recovery has a lot of things in it. Just period, just the books that are written around it. Of course, that's my deal, right? But through, I'm a certified yoga teacher, and that's
You are
where that was required reading. The Vita was
okay.
required
Okay.
reading during teacher training, and otherwise I would
Okay.
have never gotten exposed to it. I didn't even know what it was when it was on the reading list that this was a book you had to read. And now I've read it a couple times and I listen to it. It's kind of something I go back to. Uh, for some reason, it talks to me, and I think all most of those type of books, those are they've been around this long for a reason, right? Nobody would
Yes.
still
Yes.
be reading them if the data in
Yeah.
them, if the
You're
stuff in them
absolutely
wasn't
right.
valuable to us. Same thing with the Bible, right? The Bible wouldn't be around this long if it didn't hold water, if it didn't have truth in it.
Correct. Yeah. For years and years, centuries perhaps. Bible, Bhagavad Gita, all the spiritual books. What I think is if people start sharing more what they have been through, what they are going through, we'll become a closer knit society, and you will not think that, oh, this is only happening to me, and you not feel ashamed of yourself, and then you don't have to deal with things alone. For people to share more, should talk more, especially the bad experiences. See, this is happening to me. So if it happens to you, this is how to deal it, and don't feel bad. It is people don't share so much because they are feel you laugh at me. What will you think about me? My self esteem, my image is going to be tarnished. So
Yeah.
I really thank
And
to
you have
all
to
the
have
people,
safe people to share it with
safe
too,
people.
and that's one thing that 12-step recovery is such a beautiful thing because it's got these communities of safe people out there just waiting to be your friend. And they don't, of course, there's bad apples in every bucket. So it's
Correct.
not 100%, but for the most part, it's got this great thing. And like we have a meeting every Tuesday night, and we have a little chat that we do, and we're just doing life together. It's not all about. It's not that we go in there and talk about drinking and drugging. We talk about what we're going through, and we share on it. And somebody in there's been through what you've been through, and they can share some experience with you because they've been there and done that. And it's just it is. And I'll say in my podcast almost every time is that I keep on meeting people like you, and I call you a force for the good. You are bringing good, you are bringing light to the world in your way, and everybody's got their own light that they can bring. And I keep on meeting beautiful people like you over and over and over again that are doing what you're just saying, you know, bringing goodness into the light so that other people can see it and hopefully benefit and have a better trip on this big blue marble as a result of it. And I don't watch the news. I watch my spiritual diet. I watch what I am, just like I do, I said a minute ago, the genetic thing. I still try to eat well. I do. I'll cheat too. I like really good food and stuff that may not be so good for me, but I try to moderate that stuff. And the same thing with the stuff that comes off the internet or off the TV and that kind of stuff. I'm really careful about what my spirit is digesting from that because there's a lot of ugly coming off out of there. And it'll make me sick if I watch too much of it. I found that out in the past that if I digest all this political baloney that's going on in the United States, it's not good for my soul. It's better for my soul to talk to you because you are holding a lantern. You have light and are bringing good. So I would rather spend time with somebody like you than watching the TV. And I get surrounded by people through this podcast that are doing that. And
Can people from our society join this recovery program? We I have no people living in India who look for the kind of things you're offering. So I'm just wondering if somebody living in Mumbai or Delhi, can they join your recovery program online? They cannot possibly fly all over to USA or where you stay.
if you are a male, because mine's a men's group, we are on Zoom.
You are
And
on
if
Zoom.
and so if somebody wanted to sit in on a meeting with us, and the last Tuesday of the month, we celebrate our sobriety birthdays, and we allow
Okay.
everybody to come on that night. So people's wives and children and other people come into our meeting and we do it all together. So and there's those kind of meetings all over the world too. But if somebody wanted to see what it's called the spiritual underground, the same name as
Okay.
this podcast. And if
Okay.
my email address is dan@spiritualunderground.org, my email, dan@spiritualunderground.org. If somebody wanted to sit in on the meeting and check it out on Zoom, all they'd have to do is send me an email. I'll send them a link to it and they can sit in on it. And if you would like to see
Oh,
what we're doing too, some last Tuesday of the month, you'd be welcome to come see what we're doing too, because it really is lifting. People's parents come and over again, people come in. We've had pastors from churches come into our meeting going, this is what my church is supposed to be like. The love and the support and compassion for one another that's going on in this room is palpable. People feel it when they're there. Some people come to that last meeting of the month just to soak it up. We call it the juice. I think another word
juice.
for it is prana. Isn't that a word for like life energy, good life
Right.
energy?
Yeah. Pran. Yeah.
So it's the same
In,
kind
in
of
English,
thing.
you call it prana. In Hindi, you call it pran. Pran is what you are, like the life energy. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, yeah, the good stuff.
The good stuff.
Well, it
All
was
right,
great
Dan.
talking to
Do
you.
you
Is
have
there
any more
anything you want to
questions for
close
me?
on? And I do have, again, I'll put you gave me a beautiful email that's got links and all that, which I will copy into the notes on the podcast. I do this thing just in time for the most part. So, I'll tell this story too much too, but one time I was on somebody's podcast and I asked them when it was going to come out and they said something to be like, it was 8 to 10 weeks or something. And I thought, that seemed like a long time. And with mine, yours will come out Sunday. So I do a podcast in a week and I let it out the next Sunday. And I do a podcast next week and I put it out next Sunday. So I will send you the link to it. Is it okay if I use the video on YouTube also?
Yeah, sure. You can
I
use
always
it.
like to do that part of it just to get permission. that we use the imagery to. For the most part, I've been doing this for 7 years, uh,
Wow.
but the majority of it is just audio only podcast. But like Zoom lends itself to the video too, so I put it on YouTube when I can too, just to try again, just like you. We're just out trying to help people, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Just trying, that's my only motive. I don't make any money here. I don't sell any sponsorship. I don't do anything. I'm doing this for fun and for free, and hopefully somebody out there gets some value out of it and it improves their daily walk.
Yes. We are on a common mission. That is
Yeah.
why we connected today,
Yep.
early
Yep.
in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. And late
6:30
in the
right
evening
now.
for me. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I've really enjoyed it.
Correct.
Thank you. You'll see my
Thank you.
email and
And
enjoy your day. Is it Thursday there,
third
right?
July. 3rd
Yeah.
July.
Yeah. We're not even on the same day, let alone the same time.
Yeah. You have a nice evening then.
You too.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye bye.